Hello world, hello world. Welcome back to my channel. Call me Biz. Tom Segura Overdoses. This is from the series This Is Not Happening from Comedy Central. Just a warning ahead, I might have to blur this whole thing out. Channels like big corporations like Comedy Central or Netflix, usually I gotta blur it out. I apologize, it's just the game. But shout out to Tom Segura, amazing comedian, and Overdosing. The closest I got to, I don't really do drugs, so the closest I got to overdose was, being so drunk and high at the same time on Mary Jane, that I actually prayed. I try to make a bargain with God. Look, if you let me survive this night, you know when you're just standing still and the room keeps going. Who else said that? Somebody else said that, and I was just dying because it's so true. But anyways, look, if you enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button, like the video. No more ghost watching, all right? Let's go ahead and watch some Tom Segura.
This woman goes, "Hey Tom, you are in the emergency room and you overdosed." And they're like, "What did you take?" So I write, "Heroin." And they go, "Are you serious?" And I write, "JK."
I ain't gonna lie, this be kind of smack.
Welcome to This Is Not Happening presents One Crazy Night. So this is what we do. We're a bunch of comedians tell stories about a similar subject. So this is just one crazy night. Give it up for my friend and yours, Mr. Tom Segura, everybody. Let him hear it.
That's really a dope concept for a show.
Thanks. Ari Shaffir, everybody. Let him hear it. Ari Shaffir. All right. Let's go back to 1997. Holy shit. And fuck, that time flies. And I'm a freshman in college. And Thanksgiving, remember Thanksgiving, everybody? That's the first time that you go, usually back home. That's your first break in your freshman year. And it's a big deal because it's also like a mini class reunion, right? It's the first time you see everybody that you used to go to school with every day. You're back your first few months and everybody's recapping. And the big thing is the next day, the day after Thanksgiving, everybody gets together and parties their fucking balls off while acting like they're a new person, right? So I start off, I find one of the guys that didn't go to school, and he's like, "I'm the new drug supplier." And I'm like, "I remember you from math." And he asked me what I want, and I'm like, "What do you got?" And he goes, "I have ecstasy." And I go, "Yeah." Everyone says, "That's fun. Let's try it."
I never tried that, man. All my friends have.
I start taking it, and I forgot to mention, before I went to college, senior year, I got really into a drug that was making its way, especially through the South, through Florida, called GHB. And I'm sure, I don't know if you know what it is. It's a gamma hydroxybutyric acid. Your body naturally produces it. Sometimes there's some places where they regulate it as an anesthetic, but basically when you get it, somebody made it in a bathtub, and that's the good stuff, all right? And they sell it to you, and they get it in a water bottle. They also call it the date rape drug. I didn't do that. I gave it to myself all the time. And it does have an amazing effect on sex. On masturbating, let's be honest. On masturbating. I really had some crazy masturbation seminars. As a senior, and then I passed out, and I'm like, "Who jerked me off?" "Oh yeah, it was me." Okay.
Who jerked me off?
So, anyways, okay, so I get the ecstasy into my system, and then I take it. I'd never taken it, so as soon as I take it, I go like, "Hey man, fucking, I don't feel anything." He's like, "You just took it, man. Like, give it a minute, all right?" All right. So I'm hanging out at this party. We're at a party, everyone's together, and then we're gonna go to a bar. And at the end of the house party, on the way to the bar, I go, "Hey man, I don't feel anything." So he goes, "All right, when we get to the bar, come find me, and I have GHB." So I'm like, "Okay." So I find him, And he's like, all right, let's go to the car. And that's always the big move when you go to the car, right? You're like, this is where dreams come true in the car. A drug dealer's car is where it all lives. So
all the magic happens
I'm
in the car.
expecting what I know, which is a water bottle, and then a dose is the cap. So all you do is you pour the water into the cap and you drink it like that. It tastes like ocean water, like seawater, right? Salt water. And then it's immediate. GHB, if it's good stuff, it's like, we used to call it permagrin, because you just be like, and if someone's like, fuck you, you're like, So I'm like, all right, where is it? And he goes, it's right there. And he has a gallon jug, right?
Damn.
And I'm like, wow, that's not a water bottle? He's like, yeah, I haven't even put it into the water bottles yet. That's the full thing. And it's a full gallon. Now, if you think about a full gallon, you know that A, the cap is much different. It's flatter. You're not going to sample. And it's also heavier. So I don't know how to pour it. So he's like, just take a shot. And I'm like, all right.
Hell no.
So I put it up. And then I go, in my mind, oh shit. I have like 9 shots in my mouth right now. So the options are, do I spit it back into
Nah, don't do that.
the main jug, which I feel like he's going to be like, not cool with that, you know, being that he's a drug dealer and all. The other thing would be spit it out on the ground, and I don't want to be rude, right? So I just go like, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. I have taken way too much GHB. Now, I'm leaving out the point that you're not supposed to mix GHB and alcohol. It is potentially fatal. You may have known this if you didn't. It can be. At this point, I am on 13 or 14 drinks, right? Like,
Damn.
and it's liquor, like, you know, vodka drinks, and I'm just pounding them. I get the 9 shots into me, and then I walk back into the bar, and I'm like, what's up, everybody? Like, I'm fucking... They're like, where does all this personality come from? Just natural,
fucked
man.
up.
So,
That's
and
natural.
then I sat down. I remember sitting down, and the girlfriend came and she sat on my lap, and then lights out. Like, I just don't remember anything. Like, I went to sleep. All I remember is that I wake up, and I'm looking at lights on a ceiling. Right? I'm just like, oh shit, is this heaven or? And then I see a woman come into frame, right? Because I'm laying on my back. I can't talk. I can't move my arms. And this woman goes, hey, Tom, you are in the emergency room and you overdosed on drugs and now you're coming out of a coma.
A coma?
And I was like, oh. Like processing it. But the process
scary.
literally was just eyes closed, like, oh, shit. And my only thought was like, I hope nobody knows. That's the only thing I'm thinking. I hope nobody knows. And then I open my eyes again, and my parents come into frame.
Yeah, everybody knows. You
And
can't
I'm
go in
like,
a coma, nobody knows.
everybody knows. And they look so just like, we thought you were a good kid. What the fuck? So I'd never been in trouble. They won't let your arm out because I pull out the tubes. I have a tube for breathing. I have another tube that's pumping liquid charcoal into my stomach because that makes the chemicals and the drugs like come together, and then you also can't digest it, so you vomit, which is what they want you to do. So as I'm like, I'm also like, I'm throwing up, right? So they give me a piece of paper and a pen that I can't really write normally because I'm strapped down, but I can kind of chicken scratch. And they're like, what did you take? Because they're trying to figure, they don't even know what I took. So I write, heroin. And they go, are you serious? And I write, JK.
Even a coma can't stop the jokes. Gotta get the
They're not
jokes
like,
in.
good one. They're like, what the fuck, are you joking? So
That's hilarious.
then the kid in me, I'm looking at my parents and I'm like so worried about them. I write on the paper, I go, are you mad at me? And my parents, at that moment, my dad reads it and he goes, no, buddy, just disappointed. And I'm like,
It's always that response.
Can you save that for when I'm breathing on my own? Like,
that shit is
So-
worse than mad.
I'm in that emergency, or I get moved to critical, then ICU. In the ICU, a doctor comes in who I hadn't seen yet. And I'm later told, this is a doctor. They tell me this is a doctor that saved your life. So I'm sitting there in the bed, and he comes in and he goes, are you in a band? And I was like, what, man?
You
What?
making small talk?
And he goes, are you in a band? And I was like, no, I'm not in a fucking band. And he goes, well, you had enough in you to take down 2 drum players and a bass player, man. And I'm like, you now with the fucking jokes, really? And I go, well, he goes, what did you take? And I go, I had, I don't know, I took a couple pills. I told him honestly, I had some drinks. And I took, you know, some GHB, probably enough for like a lot of people. And he goes, what about the heroin? And I go, no, I was just joking. And he goes, no, you have heroin in your system.
What the fuck?
And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, you have heroin, you have cocaine, you have PCP.
God
He's like, you also
damn.
have the same chemicals that are in like cleaners, like some of the super duty cleaners. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And he goes, where'd you get your GHB from? And I go, one of my buddies from high school. He's like, oh, he's a good friend. He gave you some fucking WD-40 to put in your system. So I you know, eventually get to breathe on my own and all this shit. And then he comes back and they're like, you know, the nurse tells me the doctor that saved you wants to talk to you. And I'm like, all right. And I asked him, like, how did I survive? And he was like, honestly, because you're fat. Like, you're pretty fat. And
Yeah, shout out to fat people.
I was like, what, man? And he goes, I mean, a smaller person would definitely, like a 120-pound person would die halfway through this. This is just one of the only times where it's good to be fat, right now.
There you go.
And that's, yeah. That's why I still haven't lost the weight, you guys.
I was like, the best part.
Yo, that was good. That was a good story, man. That was a good story. That's one skill I feel like people is underrated when it comes to comedians is their storytelling ability, right? All of the best comedians, they have the best stories. You feel me? It's not just jokes. It's to be able to tell a dope story, you know, incorporated with jokes. So that's fire. That's why I'm not a big fan of drugs. Never was. I don't even trust in Advil, you know. But you know, if you drink, you know, you gotta let an Advil slide once in a while. But I'm just saying, because you just never know. That's why fentanyl is killing everybody. You feel me? Crackheads used to be crackheads for a long time, you know. Like you could be a career crackhead and still at the end change your life around and become an activist and a pillar in a community, you know, set up a couple of community centers. That's usually the end of a crackhead career, you know. They do a good 60 years of crackhead and they become a staple in their community trying to prevent others from being crackheads, and they're all successful. That's a crackhead. Very solid, you know, just very strong bones, you know, very resourceful. That's why the minute they get sober, they automatically succeed because all that crackhead training is stuck in you, you know. Now crackheads ain't even making it. They mixing everything, bro. Like niggas used to be coke heads for the longest. Now you can't even be that no more because of what they said. He thought he was getting GHB, but he was just getting some concoction some loser just made. So, you know, that's wild, man. Yo, shout out to Tom, man. To be able to make a joke while you're, well, I'm Haitian. My parents are I'm Haitian, so my parents are Haitian. That wouldn't have fly. And yes, they are always disappointed. And I noticed that a lot of foreigners say that too. Like, like Asian people. Asian people think their parents are the worst. I'm like, you have not met Caribbean parents. They are disappointed in you the moment you were born. So just so you never have to doubt it in the future. They get that shit out the way quick. The minute you can understand what disappointment is, they let you know, yes, that's exactly how I feel about you. so you ain't never got to question it later. So you just know. You grow up knowing I'm probably gonna disappoint this person because they're already disappointed. So you get that whole shit out the way. But yeah, that's why I don't do drugs, man, cause of shit like that. But you know what this reminded me of? Damn, I forgot the name of the movie. It's Anthony Mackie and Seth Rogen. It's a Christmas movie, and there's this scene where this drug dealer, he's like this magical drug dealer. I don't know why, when he said they went to the car, that's what I thought of. And those scenes with that drug dealer is hilarious. Some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. But anyways, that was funny, man. I expect nothing less from old Tom Segura, man. Chubby Tom Segura is goated, man. So shout out to him. Anyways, y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. Do y'all do drugs? You know what's crazy? When I was younger, and this ain't a racial thing, it kind of is, but it's just different culture. When I was younger, like, young black kids were doing weed. They were alcoholics and didn't know. I know because I participated in these activities. You feel me? Everybody was a weed head, and then we would drink on the weekends. And then as you get older, the weekends kind of bleed into the weekdays. But it was that, right? And then in your 30s, you figure, I might have a problem. It was never pills. Because I remember when Eminem used to rap about popping pills, and niggas just thought that shit was weird. Somewhere around like my senior year in high school, black kids started getting on pills heavy. And that used to never be a thing because you didn't want to be called a junkie, or, you feel me, certain shit was just not cool. And now I'm looking now, like, all the kids that's like the cool thing to pop pills. That shit was never cool. Like, you could go to any hood. You see mad, like, whatever party you go to, whatever hangout, it'll be mad blunts. It'll be like, you feel me? It'll be shit like that. And like alcohol. And no one came in and said, who wants to pop pills? That shit was never a thing. That's the type of shit we seen in movies and was like, what the fuck? So it's crazy. Like, other people were doing that. Like, I knew kids that did pills and they weren't black. Just put it that way. So that shit was weird. Now that's just normal culture. The whole youth is doing pills. Adderall. I used to do Adderall, but I thought it was helping me, like, with school. Like, my freshman year of college, I was doing Adderall. I guess that's a drug too. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. Also, let me know what's next, and I got you. And I'll see y'all in the next one. And guess what? You better. Peace.